Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is KairoS, and welcome back to Naval Action finding your sea legs. So as you can see in the money chest here, I've been doing pretty well as far as gathering doubloons is concerned. We've got almost 30,000 of them now. We've got 162 combat medals and we have 4 naval service medals. Now the reason for this is if we go to our missions here, I tried to get both of these last week. Patrol Master we got, you saw that in the last episode, and we ended up with 3 combat medals as a result. So that's reset now and we got our medals. I also went for the Quest Master. Tried to do it sort of off screen between episodes, but I didn't get very far, unfortunately. So we've still got missions that we're working on here. Go to journals. You can see I've still got plenty of 5th rate missions that I'm working on here, and they're still here. They're going to be contributing to, hopefully, the next 11 days, whatever it is, 10, 11 days of leveling up, of grinding, so we can actually get Questmaster hopefully this week, or next week after that, I guess. So, 11 days we have until the next reset. Hopefully we'll get 6 medals this time instead of 3. But I'm happy with what I've got. And we are in a good position now. It's getting dark, sorry guys, but that's alright. We're mostly doing investment stuff and buildings anyway for a little bit here. We're going to potter around in the port for a while here, guys, because we've got lots of logistics to look at, lots of buildings to set up. We have, if I was smart, we would be using our medals, saving up our medals to contribute to this ship investments for our gunnery, sailing, hull bonuses, etc. But as you can see, this cost 5 medals to get to level 3, 7 medals to get to level 4, and that's going to be a lot of grinding. And to be honest, once you get your first bonuses, I mean, this is, don't get me wrong, this is level 2 bonus is okay. A level 4 bonus will be much better, over twice as good actually, but as far as speed is concerned. But you know, it takes a lot of effort. I don't have a lot of time on my hands to do that. So gradually we will grind in here. But I feel that it's much more convenient for me anyway to actually get my economy rolling. And some of the resources I had trouble with finding last wipe, I'm going to actually set them up here in Mortimer Town for this wipe. So for example, I was going back and forth looking for iron ore a lot. I was going back and forth looking for... I had a lot of trouble finding iron and coal. And lignum vitae is not so bad, you don't need so much of it. What else did I have trouble with? Cotton. When I was making cotton sails, I couldn't find it anywhere. So have a think about what you might need. Stone was relatively common, so that's going to be low on my priority list. But I think what we're going to do, because I do want to spend my medals, even though it would be smart to save them up, I think we're actually going to get a hemp plantation. We can actually use this to get hold of hemp for our crafting, and we can also sell it as we're doing with the provisions to make money. And you can see I've made a million reales just from selling provisions up there over the last few days. So this is going to get our economy going like so. We've just spent the 3 medals we got last episode on a hemp plantation, which we now have to, whoops, that's not the right hotkey, this one, which we now have to build. So we're going to we're going to build, sorry. You can see here we got the hemp plantation ready to go. But first, no, actually we'll get that now. Let's see how much it costs. Yeah, 25, nothing. Alright, so let's get that. And I'm sure that there's a hemp. Somebody's going to tell me in the comments that there's a place you can build hemp literally 2 ports away, which I don't know about, but I don't mind. That's okay. We have everything conveniently in our crafting port now. So we're going to upgrade that. Another 50,000. So this is going to pay for itself pretty quick because... And upgrade again, 150. Yeah, let's do it. This is going to pay for itself relatively quick because hemp is actually selling pretty well down here in the shop. You go to resources, look for hemp. Look for hemp. 148. You know, reales. You can have a look there at the market. Sorry, I need to take a sip of this water and coffee. Alright guys, so as you can see here, that's selling relatively well. So once we get a little bit of this, we probably sell this in smaller batches, maybe 1,000 at a time, and we'll get a relatively good income out of that, even if we're not crafting at the time. So we've done that. You know, while we're here, we might as well set up all of our other buildings. So yeah, we're just going to build for now, guys. What we need next, we've got all these doubloons to spend, is a forge. A forge is going to let us build cannons. I should just show you how much it costs first. It's going to cost 100,000 reales and only 2,000 doubloons. So this is probably going to be the second major crafting building you build if you're not building farms and things in this port, in your home port. So we've got our forge now, and we can craft guns. We can craft 9-pounders, we can craft 6-pounders, we can craft carronades, we can craft whatever we want. Long guns, medium guns. The only thing you can't... Oh, we can craft mortars as well. I forgot about that. The only thing you can't craft in here is the rare guns. That would be things like Bloomfields and navy guns and the like. So, what else are we going to be building? We're going to also be building... Eventually we're going to get a seasoning shed, but not now. We need a permit for that anyway. The academy is something we're also going to be building later down the line, but it is relatively expensive, and we can't even afford it now. It costs 1 million reales and 10,000 doubloons, if I'm reading that correctly. But what we can do is build the shipyard. 200,000 reales and 10,000 doubloons. Bang. We now have our shipyard when the computer catches up. And we can now finally craft ships. Unfortunately, it looks like we didn't keep our crafting experience. We're at crafting experience 0, which is kind of annoying. That is kind of annoying because, you know, it's very clear that the developers want us to concentrate on DLC ships here. I was kind of expecting we'd keep our... Because we keep our rank, I was kind of expecting we'd keep our crafting experience as well, but apparently not. So we're going to have to craft our way back up to building bigger ships. I suppose in a way it makes sense because otherwise people will never, you know, they'll just get good at crafting and never build smaller ships again. But if you don't like 6th rates and 5th rates, well, sorry guys, you're just going to have to craft your way through them again to get up to the ships you want. So for now, we really don't have, you know, anything to craft except the 7th rates. But just for fun, I probably will craft a little ship that I've been meaning to build, which is actually just a cutter. We might make a cutter this time, guys, if I can find a permit for one. And I just really like this ship, so I'm going to gather some resources together to do that. You can see this is what we need. I'm going to have a think about what build we're going to use, and we're going to need to gather these resources. We'll buy most of them, of course, and I'm going to see if I can come up with something that's really good for what I'm intending. Just going to put in a break here and get back to you. Alright guys, as you can see, I have selected all the resources I need to build my little cutter, except for the rare woods. Now on the subject of rare woods, you can see in here, whatever you like, you can select these woods, change them around. Once you build your shipyard, you can experiment with builds. So, I'm looking for a fastest ship I can get, and that looks like it's going to be for this wipe anyway. It's going to be Riga fir, Riga fir. You could use New England fir if you wanted to, but you're going to get a significant, we'll do it here just to show you, we'll get a significant debuff to hit points here. That is quite a significant debuff. So this is going to be for trade ships. Same speed, same crew bonus, same armor debuff, or thickness debuff, sorry, but you're going to get that hit point debuff. So this is going to be for trade ships only. You could mix these up if you wanted to save money. Go for Riga, New England, or something like that. Riga fir is very expensive. New England fir is about half the price. That's why you would build out a New England fir as opposed to Riga. So what we might be doing for this one is just, even though this is going to cost us well over 250,000, we might end up building our little cutter out of Riga fir. Now you might be wondering, why build a cutter instead of a lynx? Why would you ever build a cutter or trader cutter in the place of a lynx or trader lynx? Well, they are different ships. These days with Naval Action sort of making the ships a little too similar to each other in my opinion. You can see hit points and thickness is identical for these two 7th rates. They have the same crew, the same turn rate. They require the same amount of resources to repair if you build them out of the same wood. The only difference here is the cutter is going to be a little bit slower. Obviously, it's also going to have a slightly different sailing profile. This thing is really good at going upwind. The cutter is also good at going upwind, but as far as I'm aware, it's going to have a little bit more of, if things are the way they used to be anyway, it's going to have a slightly wider sailing profile, if I recall correctly. And of course, we have an extra 12 guns. Well, not an extra 12 guns. We have 12 guns on this cutter versus 8 guns on the Lynx. And I believe these are both 4-pounders, I believe. She can carry on both of these ships. So if you want to be a pure speedster, go for the Lynx. If you want a few more guns, go for the cutter. The only other advantage is, I forgot about this, the cutters, both the trader and the regular version, do not need permits to craft, whereas the Lynx does. You can't grind experience with these things either, guys. You only get 1 experience for crafting, so don't bother about that. Alright, guys, my decision is made. I've been checking out the New England build for the Trader's Lynx, and I have decided, looking at these 2 statistics here, there is no reason whatsoever why you wouldn't want to go for a Trader's Cutter. We're going to go for this. Notice that the advantage of crew is negated here because the regular cutter has the same crew as the Trader's Cutter. The only disadvantage is going to be the lack of speed. That's the only advantage of getting a regular cutter as opposed to a trading cutter. And as far as this is concerned, I had assumed that the Trader's Lynx gets 600 hold space, but no, I was misremembering. That's only with hold optimization. So these two both have the same carry capacity. There is no reason at all why we shouldn't go for just the regular little Trader's Cutter. So we're going to go for the Trader's Cutter, and that's going to be our mainstay small trader for this particular wipe. We also get 12 guns on this thing. So I'm going to tank out. We're not going to build our ships out of New England fur. We're going to build them out of Riga fur, because this is going to allow us to use this little Trader's Cutter as a commerce raider much more effectively. She's going to be able to still catch open world trader cutters, so we can use her to attack things. We can level her up, get some boxes on this thing, and this is going to be our new Riga fur build trader cutter. We just need to buy it. That's going to cost us. We haven't got it yet, so we need to go to the shop. Resources. You're going to look for Riga fur. You should find it in your local port, and this is going to hurt a lot. Look at that, 269. So we're just building one for now, guys. That's more than half of our income, but we can now craft it. More than half of our earnings, I should say. We're going to need some provisions as well. We've got plenty of those lying around. We just used up all our resources on crafting, but we're going to do it. Riga fur, trader cutter, confirm. And then when the internet catches up, we ended up with a heavy rig, and of course we got our sailing bonuses there, you can see. So we actually have different statistics than you would have seen previously. If we had maxed out our bonuses, we would have an even better ship right now. But I'm happy we got heavy rig. That's good. That gives us a little bit of a bonus for mast as well. So this is going to become our little trade ship for just pottering around. Resources. We're not going to be using lynxes for this wipe. Everyone uses lynxes. But we are going to paint this one because we have some nice color schemes here. If we go to 7th rates, Trader's Cutter, we have the Centaur, lovely blue, as you can see there, with a bit of a red stripe as well, blue and white, some black as well. Black is the main color. We have the Rouge, which is the color that a lot of people go for their traders. I don't like that as much. This is going to be the one we use, the Centaur. And this, guys, is going to be our first proper trade ship. We could have obviously just stolen one, found one on the open world, but I would prefer to do it this way. So, we'll paint her, give her some paint. We now have our first trade ship. Fantastic. Alright guys, I have come down to St. Nicholas. We've actually skipped forward a couple of days here. It's now the 19th of the 8th, and I'm looking for trade goods in my little cutter. We have here Dutch laudanum for sale in this port at St. Nicholas, which sells at Le Desconocida, and we also have, available in this port as I recall, let's have a look, resources trading. We also had, yes, we had Lancaster iron, and we also have liqueurs for sale here. So if we go to our trade goods, we can look up liqueur. Where does that sell? Les Cayes. It sells well at Les Cayes. North Inlet, Walker's Quay. Where's Walker's Quay? So Les Cayes isn't far at all, actually. Walker's Quay, it's up there. We'll probably not take that, but we will take the iron, the Lancastershire iron, because that sells at Port Howe, which isn't far away. Well, it's in the general direction of La Desconocida, and I want to head up here anyway, see if we can find some 7th rate traders, some trader cutters to steal. So this little ship here is ready to go. I'm thinking we might not have to. How much can we carry? We can definitely take the iron, so that's great. Lancastershire iron, and we'll put that into the hold before we buy anything else. It's always good to keep an eye on your hold space. I'm hoping we won't have to get hold optimization here. How much Dutch laudanum can we carry? 60, yeah, easily. So you don't find that many trade goods around these days unless you store them up over several days. So gone are the days when you'd find hundreds of units of this stuff lying around. We could take the liqueurs and take them up to, what was it, Walker Quay, which isn't that far. Much further than Le Desconocida, but I don't think we're going to bother with that, to be honest. I'd rather not carry any more. We need to keep that space available anyway, just in case we see something worth attacking. So there she is. I've gone and upgraded this ship, by the way. I've put some upgrades on her. We've given her navy borders, navy hull refit for speed. Obviously we want to be boarding, so we've got borders, and then we've got the Northern Carpenters. You might be thinking this is a waste of combat medals for such a nippy little ship like this, but this is going to be our trader leveling ship. We're going to be using her to attack things, and I don't really want to lose her after I've spent so much money on her. So, you know, I've got medals coming out of my ears at the moment. We don't need to worry about it. And all of my DLCs have reset as well. Okay, let's go. Let's get underway, and we'll see what we can find as we sail up towards our ports. Well, would you look at that? I just happened to pop out of the port, and what do I find? A trader's cutter. Just what we are looking for. It's a shame I've just filled up my hold with trade goods. It's a bit of a pity, really, but we'll have a go at this. I've just got medium guns on this ship at the moment, and she is an absolutely beautiful little ship. But we can go and attack this and see if we can take it. Hopefully I'll be able to get the supplies off her. We shall see. I'll try and capture this one, I think. Ideally, although we do need to be careful because she'll have the same amount of crew as us. We're going to have to whittle down her crew first. Take it easy. But we'll tag this thing. And I think we're going to have our first battle here for this episode. Alright guys, so I've been chasing this trader down for a little bit here. And as you can see, I have managed to give her a stern rake. She is, however, a little bit tougher than us. We got a few rounds into us and we had damage done pretty quick. So this ship is definitely not going to be good for broadside exchange. We have to be smart about this. So I'm going to try and... We lost a couple of... Have we not lost guns? No, good. Okay, we've still got all our guns. But we are going to try and... dismast her as much as possible here. And it pays with these smaller ships to aim. As you can see there, we're out. We need some more speed back again. We just dropped the sails so we could stop bouncing all over the place. She's not going to get away. We are much, much faster than she is. But we can't let her get too far away from us. So there's going to be a little bit of this for a while, I think. As you can see, we are very easily making, 14 plus knots. Our acceleration is incredible. We are very, very nippy indeed. And this is honestly a beautiful looking ship. It's just such a lovely looking ship. Alright. There's a mast hit. Another mast hit. Damn. We're getting there. Definitely doing damage to her sails here. Let's come around. I really don't bother with manual sailing for these smaller ships. And you can see she's doing a lot of damage because we built our ship for speed. We have to really board or use chain. This is a trade hunting ship, guys, and obviously a trader. Another hit. Master's still not down though. Alright, we'll keep on firing. I think we're out of chain, unfortunately, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Alright, I finally got her. These little ships are a completely different skill set to use, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more... Well, I'm just going to have to practice with these. We're not going to attack now because they've just fired grenades, which means their fire deck gun volley is going to be coming through. Let them use up their preparation for now. Close off these gun decks here. So there you go. They fired their deck guns. We've got plenty of men. They have no marines, so we should be able to capture this one. But yeah, that took way too long for me. Attack. Easy. So we finally got them, but the problem with these little ships is they're really quite finicky to control, and I'm not good at manually sailing them. So it's one of the good things about Naval Action is there's different ships feel different, So we can carry marble. We can carry all of this. Might as well loot it and see, what do we have here? Bermuda Cedar Sabaku, Trader's Cutter. Well, we could take it back, which is probably what we'll do. We'll probably take it back and sell it. So we'll actually capture this ship, take half our crew, confirm. We will keep everything in our hold though. We now have captured this little trade ship, and we can take it back to Mortimer and put her on sale. Fantastic. Alright guys, back in Mortimer. You want to make sure that you sell the cannons and any supplies or loot you have in the hold of these ships before you sell them. Unfortunately, this one is, a green, so it only has a couple of boxes. It's probably not going to sell very well at all. But if you go to the fleet, here you could sell it straight away, just like that. If you wanted to, but that's only 3,000 reales. We don't want to do that. If you wanted to sell the ship on auction, however, to other players, you could come in here. This system has been overhauled recently, so it's much more user-friendly. We'll select rank 7. We'll select the kind of ships we want. We'll say Trader Lynx and Trader Cutter, and we will search. And up here, it should give us an indication of, there you are, how much these are being sold for. And I reckon we could be generous here because this is a pretty terrible little ship. People are selling these for, 30-something thousand. I reckon because this is only a 2-box ship, we could probably put this up for a lot cheaper than that. Let's put it up for, let's say 20, maybe 26,000, 27,000, something like that. So we will do that. Put this ship on auction, which I think you need to do it in here. There we go. So you go to the cutter you want to auction, put the price up. Let's put it up to 26,000. It should be about right. Put on sale. There's a commission price as well, but that's fine. No cannons, all good. Can sell that, and she's now on sale, and hopefully she will sell. Obviously, that's just a little trader's cutter. It's not a lot of money. It's barely worth the time, but with bigger ships, can be definitely worth the time. So now all we have to do really is go and deliver our cargo, which is going to make us a pretty penny, I can tell you. This storm is also a good thing for us if we're doing trade runs, because obviously this hinders us if we're trying to hunt down ships. But if we're out in combat areas and this storm holds, then we'll have some cover. So if there are any players trying to chase us down, then they hopefully won't bother us because they won't be able to see us. But it's a long journey. We're going to definitely go looking for wind boosts. And we're going to go to Port Howe first, and then up to La Desconocida. And we've made it to Port Howe. This is obviously a French port, and it hasn't been made free for all to enter, so you do need to make sure you have only trade ships in your fleet if you want to enter these ports. Just remember that, guys. So, what are we going to do here? We are going to sell our wares. If we go to resources trading, it is the Lancashire iron that we have to sell here. These other goods are going to the other port, whatever it was called, La Desconocida. And look at that. Boom. 144,000 after tax, around 130,000. Confirm. And look at that. Fantastic. So that's the start. And now we've got to continue on our way. We've still got a little way to go. We might try and be smart about this and avoid Shroud Key. We'll go around Shroud and up past New Providence Island here towards our destination on the Atlantic side. That would be much safer, I think. Well, look at this, guys. We managed to get a decent wind boost out here, and we are zipping along. Just wanted to show you so you guys know that these things are indeed viable. They are fast. Build them out of Riga fir. And if we went upwind like so, we could get even more speed. I got almost 50 knots earlier. So that's pretty good. We are zipping along. And we're almost there. I'm really happy with these cutters. I think this is definitely going to be our main trader for this wipe. Bigger traders really aren't that necessary. I'll probably also use what do they call it? The Gros Ventre refit as well. But I may not even bother with Indiaman much this wipe, guys. There just aren't enough trade goods on the map to warrant it, really. So, anyhow, we're almost there. We're going to make plenty of money this time. Okay, so we're ready to sell our wares. Let's have a look in here. Go to resources, trading. And you notice that there's nothing here to purchase, unfortunately, but that's all right. We've got plenty to sell. We can sell our Dutch laudanum. We're going to get 76,000 for that. 23 units. Sold. And now the marble. We've got 27 units and we made 189,000. Not including tax. But there you go. Boom. And if you want to check, you can come down here and review. You can see there what we made. And we can scroll up and double check what we earned. As far as experience is concerned, all the information is going to be in here. Of course, for anyone who's curious to use the trade tool the way I use it, the trade tool, you just type in the good you want. Let's say marble. It was. You find it. There it is. And then you'll want to click this here, sell. Click that a couple of times so you can have it for where is it cheapest and where is it most expensive. And this is, the second most expensive port that you could get this for. So this is obviously where you want to be selling this stuff. It's in demand here. So that's your trade tool. Fantastic. We've just made plenty of money. And you can do passenger missions along the way as well. Fantastic. I know that this isn't the most exciting thing in the world, guys, trading and ship crafting, but I did want to have at least one episode of the series just devoted purely to that, so we could get it out of the way. It is an interesting part of the game. I enjoy it. It's a nice relaxing thing to do. But there you go. I think that will do it for this episode, guys. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more action next episode. This has been KairoS. Thank you all very much for viewing.